Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is Brick Army and my name is Steve, and today we've got a very exciting build for you. It's the MI24, and according to the instruction book, 3 different variants we could choose from. I'm not entirely sure at the moment which variant we're going to go for. We'll see about that later on. The other thing that I'm excited about is, and I wish all manufacturers would do this, bag number 1, bag number 2, bag number 3, etc, all the way up to bag 18. And in the instructions it even tells you in advance what bags you need, what segments you need them for, and what page you're going to need them for. That's brilliant. I love that. So hopefully that will work out nicely. The other reason I'm excited, this is by Sluban. And Sluban have a very extensive military catalogue. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to enjoy this, because I dare say we're going to end up doing quite a few Sluban models, and it doesn't bode well for the future if I don't enjoy it. The other reason I'm excited is, as a kid growing up in the late 70s and 80s, seeing this thing occasionally on the news with footage that was smuggled out of Afghanistan after the Russians invaded. Obviously no internet back in those days. I know, the Stone Age kids, but you know. This thing was terrifying. We just had nothing like it in the West at all. We had attack helicopters like the small helicopters like the Westland Lynx and the Huey Cobra. We had bigger helicopters like the Puma and the Chinook for transportation, but there was nothing that combined the two and combined it effectively. There were various experimental helicopters that tried to do it, but nothing ever really worked out, and certainly nothing was ever put into mass production. But this thing was just a beast, and it was just terrifying just to see it in the sky. It was like a cross between a tank and a battleship that flew. And that's always stayed with me. Every time I've seen them, even though this helicopter now is over 50 years old, it's still one of those things that I just love to see. And I have had a chance to see one in the flesh, and yeah, it's as scary in the flesh as it was on television. So for that reason, I'm very excited about this build. So without further ado, let's crack on and build. MI24 SVP. Absolutely no idea what the SVP stands for, but I thought it looked the coolest of the lot. So, as I said at the start of the video, I was really excited for this. This model, the hind, sort of holds a special place in my head, and so it was very important to me that this, and also because Sluban have the extensive catalogue of military equipment, that this was good. And I've got to say, it lived up to everything. I think this is just fab. It's huge as well. It's I did put some photographs of the measurements on, but it's a good 50 centimetres long, and not entirely sure where I'm going to put this because of the size, which might be a consideration for some of you. But anyway, let's have a little look at the normal things. The instructions, they're adequate, slightly on the better side of good. They get you there eventually. The quality of the bricks. The bricks, they were excellent. There was nothing missing. In fact, I have got stacks and stacks of extra bits here. And not really to do with the, any difference between the three models that you can make. They just seem to have lots of extra bits. The nice thing is that they're all extra bits of the very small things. The small things you're liable to lose without realising you've lost them, that you've just caught on your sleeve and they've gone onto the floor. So that's really, really nice. The bricks themselves, to my mind, that they have a slightly softer feel than the Kazi bricks that on the M1A2 Abrams, which meant that they were slightly easier to fit. With the Kazi was very tight fitting, and once a brick was in, it wasn't going to come out. This is a sort of nice balance in between. So that was all good. The design itself, I think, is brilliant. Although there was one thing that I did put in the video with the rocket pods. I happen to have lying around a couple of these, and I thought, I wonder if I pop those on, would it mean that the rocket pods are held in a little bit more securely? And yeah, they will be. I love the fact that you're able to pitch the rotors and still use them. If you can see that on there, the fact that you can do that, and then bring them up, that's attention to detail as far as I'm concerned. I think that's awesome. Not 100% perfect, I'm going to say, and it doesn't tell you this in the instructions, but if you do want to put your two minifigures in that are pilots and co-pilots, you really need to do that at the beginning before you put the canopy on, because otherwise you've got to dismantle most of the top of here because the canopies don't really lift, and certainly not enough to get a minifigure in. Certainly the top one doesn't. Then yeah, you probably best off popping them in at the very start. Now with this rear, is it undercarriage? I'm not entirely sure. Again, pop that on at the end. Same with the rockets, they will come off. And also I found with this, presumably the radio antenna here, that will come off as well. So just make them, pop them to one side, put them on right at the very end for the final assembly. And you know the best part of it? £24.15 is what I pay for it, and that's a bargain. That's just an absolute bargain for something like this, something this size, and something this good. He says now he can't get the canopy back on. We'll leave that to us. Don't worry about that. I'll do that afterwards. I just think that's fantastic. In fact, I'm a little bit sorry now that I've done it that I can't go back, rebuy it, and have the same feeling again. I really think it is that good. And also, one thing I noticed was building the fuselage itself, how solid this is. At one point I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to get hit by this. If somebody picked it up and smashed it over your head, that really would hurt. It's that solid. As you know, I'm not a particular fan of models that are extremely fragile and you can't pick them up and you can't look at them and not necessarily play with them as such, but you can't enjoy them like certain models that we've done in the past, that if you look at it in a funny manner will explode. This is, I can't sing the praises of this thing highly enough. So there we have it, the Sluban MI24, the Hind helicopter. If you enjoy this sort of thing, do yourself a favour, go buy it, put it on a wish list for your birthday, for Christmas, whatever celebration that somebody's going to buy you a present for. Get this. If you like helicopters, get this. I think it's fab. It's just brilliant. Well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have today, and if you have, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more on the way very soon. You take care. Bye bye.